This broadcast is inappropriate for all ages. Right here on the Play Spot. I am Kamurai, and welcome to Gaming Division. This is the Play Spot where I talk about things and stuff I've been playing, mostly games. I don't know why I phrased it like that. All the kiddies ran away when I did the introduction, so I can't hold any of them up. But I am a day late and apparently $1 short this week. I didn't play a whole lot, but I'm going to talk about what I played about. But as much as I like playing games, I can talk about games for a while too, and I can talk about games. So we can do that as well. Real quick, let's just jump into what I did play, and then I'll go into theories and news and stuff about all that. I did a bit of traveling, so I did a lot on the iPad, but let's start with what I did in the real world. Funny enough, Ascension, which is like the second biggest deck builder next to Dominion, is the game that I played with a buddy of mine who we both play. We both play Ascension on the iPad because it's easier than breaking out all those cards, especially when we don't always have people to play with. People aren't always available to bend to your every whim when you want to play card games. So you pull out the iPad and you bust a move or two on that. But we got to play it in real life. We played. I think we played best out of three, which is amazing that I even got one. For Ascension though, like we've noticed the game leans towards a power advantage if you decide to go what I call cultist theory. If you just buy like heavy infantry and whatever from the front line that helps you kill monsters or gains you more power, not necessarily kills monsters, because there are cards that'll say kill monster with X number of power or less, and those don't help you very much for this method. So for cultist theory, you just beat the crap out of the cultist, and you make a run on the pool. That's what I always call it. So hopefully, the other person is not doing the same thing, which is fine because if you're both racing for the pool, then the game's really quick and you can play another one. If you guys never buy any cards from the center row, then maybe something's going wrong. But Matt especially likes to play economic strategy, and I like to play with this rule this theory at least every other time, every third time when I play the game, because to me I thought it was a break in the game. I really thought it was like, this game's broken. But if one person is doing that, the counter to that is to actually play the buying game, because they're most likely they're not just going to kill the cultists, because you don't have an even number of you don't have the 1-to-1 ratio for power to honor most of the time. Definitely not with the cultist, but there are certain monsters that do. So if they're going after the cultist a lot and making a run on the honor pool, you can either outrun them on the honor pool, which, like I said, results in a pretty fast game. And the way you really do that is you fight the monsters in the middle row because they have better ratios. Now, the better way to do that is to actually ignore power altogether and just do a commerce game. Is that what we call it? Economic game, where you're just using runes to buy up mainly constructs, because constructs have the best 1 rune to 1 victory point ratio. That's the word. So given that's definitely the way to go in Ascension. Regardless of what promos and what sets or expansions you're playing with, because you can play just certain sets and just certain expansions, but the cultist is a consistent factor in all the games, so you definitely don't have to. Yeah, we're gonna put that on silent. Don't have to worry about that strategy never being there. To me, it's like taking a money strategy in Dominion. That option is always there, regardless of how you set up the game. Yes, that's what I'm saying. So occasionally it works, and occasionally it doesn't. Just hitting the cultist over and over doesn't feel very good, so it doesn't give you as good a game experience. So I tend to get distracted because I'm like, oh, I want that. Oh, I can do this, and it's my biggest problem with deck builders is that I have a plan, Usually I have a plan. Usually it's a decent plan, if not a good plan. But occasionally I get distracted by the new cards showing up. And I'm like, oh, that'd be fun. Let's try that. And then I eventually learn that that does not work. um, let's see. So we played like two other that I lost that because he's amazing at deck builders. But I did womp his ass at the first game we played, which was Barbarossa. I mentioned, I think, did I mention this? I definitely mentioned that I got the game. I did an unboxing video. I filmed a playthrough of it, but I have to go through and edit it because I filmed it in, off a couple cameras, and I did a 360 video of it. And I don't know how I feel about the spherical video. It's not 360. It's technically 360 by 214, but even 360 is not 360 because it's 360 squared, which is spherical. What? You don't have opinions on games. You like the mouse and the rope. Um, so, oh, come here then. I'm gonna be a jerk about it. Uh, so what was I gonna say? Yeah. So we played Barbarossa and we found some weirdness to it. I went attack heavy really quick, and he went economic because that's his purview. But obviously you in Barbarossa you have to attack these cities. So his plan was to just go for like the higher ranking cards, but he suffered from deck swell, as did I. But I was deploying about half my cards that I bought at least, whereas he was engineering and buying economic-based cards to try to pull things off. So we were both sitting with these decks that were swelling. We didn't figure out what to do that game, and we ended up mercy killing him because I had gained a severe tactical advantage by going so attack heavy so early and not relinquishing my troops. Because every turn I take a hill, take a hill, take a hill, take a strategic position, whatever I could, until I could get that city. And we were both using commandos, so having the event deck upside down was kind of pointless. Almost pointless. Almost pointless. Let's say that. Because there was a couple times. Let's see. But we did. I later did figure. I figured out mid recording of the playthrough that may or may never ever see light. The way that worked um, is that you can actually there's a couple cards there's a card called Engineer that lets you change a card into another card that's up to 2 supply points more in cost. So you can actually engineer cards into strategy cards, or you can just buy strategy cards. Doing both kind of accelerates it. That gets cards out of your deck. That's actually how you thin the deck, is by engineering them out into strategy. Of course, that may or may not work. I think if you can manage to buy an airdrop and get engineer early on, you can engineer some of your supply cards into airdrops, which will still get you supply, but they'll go away afterwards. And then if you can get a couple of those going along with like I don't know, a scout battalion or whatnot, then because they give you 2 tacticals or a bike messenger, then you can quickly get some mid-level currency going and work towards the high-level currency and still kind of keep your deck thin. I'm really looking forward to it because it's actually a great game. I love Tano Curry so much, but Barbarossa is Tano Curry with this one extra bit. Funny enough, it doesn't make it a better game, but it does still make it a wonderful game, and I really like it. Being that my biggest problem with Dominion is how strict the order of operations is, um, I'm I'm blown away that I like Tano Curry and Barbarossa so much. And it's not the sexy anime girdles. That's not what makes me like the game at all. It might be a nice bonus somewhere in my head, but that is not my primary focus at all. What was I gonna say? I really had a point, and then the cat started licking me. I hate that. Um, I don't need a bath. I take showers. Um, he's okay. What was I gonna say? Oh, so Town of Curry. So one of the games that I play on the iPad, it's magnetized. I don't want that over there. Is Town of Curry. Why am I blanking on my iPad games? So that's oh geez, that was weird. So that's my go-to fast-paced game on the iPad is Town of Curry because if especially I play one-on-one against a hard AI, not only does the challenge stay up, but it moves fairly quickly because they don't hesitate a lot. And typically, if the AI is not ending the game, it means that you're uh, in the advantage. So you don't, you know that you should probably be ending the game pretty quickly. And the Town Curry, the game ends when two of the supply decks are out, the stock. Not the curse cards, and not the private maids, and not the green cards, but the blue cards. That's right. So if the AI is ever letting just one sit there, then that's what's happening. Is it's waiting to catch up. There are certain cards and strategies that you can use to definitely make that happen. I think the most prominent is Marianne, and you can get there theoretically by getting a card. What's her name? Not Kagari. Hikari. Hiraki. I don't know. The one next to Kagari in the app. That lets you get another command point and another card and a love as well. So you can play that to play that to play that to play that and just chain those, and that typically gets you a lot. And then you can snag Marianne's. The problem with that strategy of the Marianne's bog your deck down, so it's not as good a strategy. You can go for a short strategy, which is buying all the 2-pointers and probably the 3-point saffrons as well, because the Colettes, unless you have a Kagari or two to manage them, are not the easier way to go. The easiest way is to play the short game with the three sisters and Saffron. But the other way to go Marianne style is to build up your love, particularly with there is a 5-point card that lets you exchange a love for one love for a 2 love. And that so that upgrades your love cards, and then eventually you can start buying 3 love cards, which will help you keep illnesses off your private maids. And then there's that one private maid. So there, all the private maids are. I take that back. Most of the private maids that you remember are awesome. There's a couple that are just like, "What are you again?" Oh, that's why I don't remember. So that one's really fun. Let's move on. Town of Curry. Lords of Waterdeep. That is, if I have time to play a game on the iPad, that is the one I want to play. A friend of mine introduced me to that in real life. No, no, that's right. Okay, I first saw it on tabletop with Felicia Day and Will Wheaton, and then I bought the $20 package on the iPad for games, and it was on there. So I was like, oh, let me check this out, and it had the expansions built in. So or no, it didn't. My friend brought it in real life. I was like, oh, I think I got this handled with the original set on the iPad. I'm so glad to play with people, and we played, and it was real different. And she had the expansions, which made me want to buy the expansions. So that was really good. And even to this day, I really enjoy that game. I got obliterated because I finally got Xanadu or whatever his name is as the character. So I was like, oh, I can just keep all the skulls. No, no, you can't keep all the skulls because when it's empty, you take straight minus 10 points per corruption, and then even if you don't do that, it's still only like an extra 5 points per skull. So it's a reduction in the minus points. So unless you just score crazy big, um, that corruption just needs to be worth it. That's the point. That's the point. Is that you can't just eat the corruption. Oh, that was nimble. Nothing like seeing a giant cat turn on a dime, man. So Lords of Waterdeep was good. Town of Curry. I was talking to the guy on the plane. I showed him Star Realms, and I showed him what was the other one? I think we were laughing. I was laughing because it was all deck builders. I didn't show him Nightfall. That would have been horrible. I can't remember, and I don't think my iPad is in reach. No, it's not. It's over. I don't care. But those are the ones I can remember playing, and yeah, those are the best ones. So moving on to like, news and such and whatnot. Um, I can't resist. I had to open this up earlier today. Not the box itself. I'm leaving that for the unboxing video, but I opened up the actual packaging because I knew what it was and I was excited. Wave 2 stuff. I've got the Von Drack Manor tiles in the other room. It's for a game called Super Dungeon Explorer. This is one of the hero models that you can use. It's a wizardy cat, essentially. Why do you have that? My cats are doing drugs when I'm not looking. No, it's for one of their medicines. So, uh, but what she's part of is the Wave 2 expansion stuff. Forgotten King was the new edition of Super Dungeon Explorer that came out. It actually came out with new rules, which they just released in PDFs with all the errata built in, so it's good to have those PDFs. So there's that, and that was just the base set, and then there was it got released alongside with upgrade kits for the first edition stuff to upgrade it to Forgotten King, because it's backwards compatible. Those cards make it backwards compatible with all the models and such from the first adventure, which is the big problem that a lot of miniature companies purposely do to their customers to make them buy new models. This specifically keeps you from having to buy new models or cards. You buy the cards to make the models that you already have still worth something. It's not a dead game. You can still play first edition Super Dungeon Explorer all you want, but but now you can play the new version with the old stuff. I actually wanted to downgrade deck, but I digress. So I've got that there. I've got two more of the war bands are on their way, but apparently I missed some updates because I was traveling and whatnot. Soda Pop Miniatures put out on the updates for Forgotten King on the Kickstarter campaign that they figured out that they weren't done. They had some people saying they didn't get deliveries, and they got it down to like double digits on the worst case, single digits in most of the rest. So once they fulfill those orders, I'm sure they're going to re-release Wave 2 products back to the site. The thing is that while they were up, I managed to go ahead and make my order. So my order is still sitting there saying processing, which makes me nervous because I feel like it'll never come undone. But I'm trying to get it scheduled out so that I can play with everything that I want to play with before December. Or before September, sorry. Because I was really hoping I'd have it in August, but oh well. So if I can get it for September, then that'll give me a month of playing with that until I get Tento Curry in October because they're douchebags. But then I'll have that to finally play with, and I'm going to be excited to have my Tento Curry finally. I'm probably gonna be bad at it, so maybe if I get it in October, then by November I'll actually be okay to play it. Plus I'll have Super Dungeon Explorer to get me through, because I'll have the Crystalia tiles. Is that the Dragon Plains ones? Crystalia Plains, I think, is what it's actually called. And I'll have all the war bands. I'm actually really looking forward. I really love the character. Not that she's a big boob barmaid, which I had issues with until I realized why she was a big boob barmaid. It's because Marie Claude is actually a character from a pinup thing that uh, they're associated with. The Soda Pop Miniatures apparently contracts with other companies to do things, and so Twilight Princess and Marie Claude are both pinup models from different companies that they're trying to help promote. So occasionally you'll see Soda Pop Miniature characters like Candy show up in other games. Like she's actually in a couple other games, and then like they do cross promote with their own games, like Relic Knights. There's Relic Knight characters from in the first edition models of Super Dungeon Explorer. It's a really interesting process to go through because I never realized like it was. I was just like, oh, they're just slutty looking models. But and there's just wrong with that if that's your thing. But I can understand why people might have an issue with it. And I just realized I do not have the Twilight Princess or Twilight Knight on order. I don't like that. I'm gonna have to find her. Not that she's like exceptionally good, but I've got plans, and I love Super Dungeon Explorer so much. I want another pumpkin patch too, because that would give me more witches and toads to play with. Ah, um, that would be awesome. Awesome. Awesome possum, yo. Okay, so there's that. That's the Tanakuri news as well. Is that it's delayed till October. I'm angry about it. What else are we talking about? Oh yeah, I met some people that were into gaming this weekend. So we shared Minecraft stuff. So hopefully I'll be back there. I did make like another set for Bad Summaries today, but that took long enough that God, I'm glad it's done. Blinking Lights is a bitch. I never want to fucking deal with it again. um, but that's Minecraft news. I haven't played on the creative server or the survival server in a while, and I'm actually disappointed in myself. But hopefully, I can link up with Tyler and Lindsay and whoever else decides to come on, and we can go from there. I need to move the spawn point to Vale. That's what I need to do. Because right now that's the community hub, and it's in the middle of everything. There's no glitch spots nearby. That's what I need to do that. But okay, yeah, talking to them. I mean, we were talking like first games, and they mentioned Alyssa mentioned Vampires of the Masquerade. I was like, really? Because that took me back. Um, so great. And then like I got to see the local games shop in Indiana, not Indiana, but in Bloomington called the Game Preserve. And they seem pretty nice. They had two game rooms downstairs too. A little nerd dungeon. So, like one was like just for wargaming, and the other one was for board games. They actually had Tanakuri on the shelf, which I was really happy about. Um, they had some good stuff. They had Betrayal on House on the Hill, which we noted has the one of the best abbreviations because it looks like Boo Hoo. It's B lowercase o h lowercase o h h. So it's like Boo Hoo. Which it's a fun game, but like it has its issues. Particularly that it kind of plays itself at the beginning, and then all of a sudden the haunt happens and the game starts. Um, but it's supposed to be very hard to get a hold of. So that's why I was surprised they had 3 copies on the shelf. Maybe they just had a recent re-release. I don't know. But Takanoko and Takedo were both there. I was thinking about getting them for my buddy, but they got some games as well. So they ended up getting Seven Wonders, which is a fantastic drafting game. I prefer Among the Stars, but there's some added mechanics there that some people don't appreciate, and that's fine. It's fine. Um, Takedo is a great game. I really like Takedo, but some people don't get it because it's not super obvious that it's a game about being a Japanese tourist. And then even then, people were like, "What am I doing? I don't understand." But once you get the concept, you're like, "Oh, these are just places I'm going to stop and visit." And that's fine. And then basically, if someone else is sitting there, the line's too long. I'm going to go to the next one. Takanoko. I've never. Takanoko is the one where you grow bamboo, you have a panda eat it, and you meet certain objectives. I've never seen anyone have a bad game of Takanoko. Everyone loves that game. I think there's an expansion coming out for it, and I really need to look into that because I don't own Takanoko and I don't own Takedo. So when I get back to playing board games more regularly, those will definitely be games on my list. I feel like I've blown my gaming budget for the next year and a half. I need to rein it in just a little bit, and that's fine. I'm super okay with not just buying shit all the time. But Super Dungeon Explorer, it's like I'm getting all this eventually. I want it now, so I hammer it all at the same time and enjoy it. I'm not seeing Twilight Night. I wonder. This is what's gonna happen. Is they're gonna finally release everything. They're gonna process my order, and I'm not gonna be able to do it. There is, can I here? Let me screen share or whatever. Um, do I have that here? I don't want to set it up a new one, but if I have, ho ho ho, that doesn't work, does it? Does it, idiot? Nah, it's all right. I can set up a new scene and everything on camera on the fly, but there's just this chibi Dungeon Adventures miniature Pumpkinhead General. He's such a cool looking model, um, and I think that it got noticed by Soda Pop managers because they're talking about a release, even this as soon as this fall, that they're going to bring out a new mini boss and a new hero. It's going to be Jack the Pumpkinhead, or Jack the Scarecrow. That's it. Obviously a reference to Jack Skellington, and then the Beatrice the Witch or something. Um, so I may end up getting Twilight Night with them, and once I have everything, I'll rewrite the script I want to use for them. That may have to be how it goes. I won't have my ninjas by then, but that'll be a fantasy for later. I want my Pumpkinhead General. I want him. I may just get him. Uh, we'll wait. That's always the thing to do when you're unsure about things. Just wait. Just wait. It's not a worry. I'm trying to think if I have anything else about game. I'm trying to think what Kevin would say if he's here. Kevin and I have been talking, and I want him to become more regular if we can manage that. But we're having scheduling issues right now. He just got married, and they're doing stuff, and family, and me. They're fine. They're fine. I love you guys. Okay, and apparently, sorry, I just love Brandon's face in this picture. Brandon is arguing with people about Star Wars versus Star Trek, I think. I don't know. I don't know what he's arguing about. Oh yeah, there they are, but nope, nope. Um, stop staring at that. Video games stuff. I didn't really get to play much video games this week. Hopefully, I will make up for that. Uh, Theoretically on Friday, I will try to stream over on Twitch, twitch.tv/Kamurai25. But I did manage to talk to Weirdlings. Wonderful things are happening over at the Weirdlings. If you have not checked them out, you can go to youtube.com/theweirdlings. That'll take you to the Lovable Varmint channel, where the Weirdlings post all their stuff. There are new contributors coming on. There are changes happening. So I've been talking with them, and all I can do is talk at this point to people, and so I'm doing that. I've been doing that for a year now, so I've kind of harassed my way into their hearts, which I don't suggest you do to anybody, but apparently I am on good and friendly terms, and no restraining orders have been filed. No, it's just one of those things. And I could probably talk gaming and media with so many of them forever. As long as I don't go there and Danny Danger castrates me, that would be the worst. Sitting here daydreaming now, playing games with fine people. Yeah, so they're new video game enthusiast, let's say. Yeah, so I was chatting with her about how to get her started. I mean, if I was more serious about it, I would use some of the tips I gave her. But like, I'm doing at least half of them. It's really a matter of marketing, and she's got the advantage because she's part of a group. She's got tech support. She's got other people to help jump in as cast on streams and video games and stuff. She's got a lot of resources, and I'm wondering, I don't know if she knows that, but so there's that going on, and then the board game person I have not talked to you yet, but I need to pitch Tabletop Simulator to her. She's pretty smart though, so I figured she probably already knows that. Um, Game design stuff. Did not obviously haven't worked on Gamebox in a bit. I don't know if I don't normally talk about it here. Never mind. Just oh, I guess I don't know. I guess I mention it occasionally, but I came up with an idea for a CIA game, and I really want to implement it. The problem is how to get the system to work to so that you can actually, oh jeez, that's my closet, actually get the system work the way I want to, because I want you to be able to not tell what faction everybody is, and like, so it's like the CIA. It's all about either gathering intelligence or executing the target, which is fine. Things happen. You have to tie up loose ends, right? Right. Um, okay, so I think I'm going to leave it at that because I'm tired and I actually need to go in the office tomorrow. So, um, until I see you next time, I am Kamurai. Have a nice day.